Hi everyone, I am Girija, Assistant Professor, Department of Commerce and Management Studies, MPMM SNRS College, Shornur, Palakkad, Kerala. Today I am going to present a paper on academic stress among students. I welcome all of you to this presentation. What is stress? Stress is a natural feeling of not being able to cope up with specific demands and events. It is the body's reaction to any change requires an adjustment or response. Academic stress, if not well handled, can generate both optimistic and pessimistic consequences. When stress is seen contrarily, students experience physical and mental trouble that can result depression, anxiety, social relationships, suicidal attempts, etc. The main objective of this study is to analyze the factors affecting stress and the consequences of stress among students. The study includes both primary and secondary data. Stress has been defined as mental occurrence caused by demand and failure, which is very familiar in our lives. It appears to result from an individual assessment that environmental demand exceeds his or her resources and these dangers the person's well-being. So stress has become a part of students' academic life. Because of several factors, stress cannot be considered as harmful, but it may seriously affect those who react to it badly. Everyone reacts to stress in different ways. Due to academic stress, it leads to students certain type of depression problem, anxiety, and psychological disorders, etc. Stress is a natural and necessary reaction to the survival of students in facing problems in their academic environment. Academic stress, if not well handled, can create certain optimistic and pessimistic consequences. Then, what are the impact of stress? Stress creates various types of impacts. It includes anxiety, depression, anger, etc. Anxiety is a common among students who feel apprehensive over academic stuff, that is, competition, manipulation, task taking, another specific tasks may cause anxiety. Then, depression. Depression set into students who feel pressure to meet high expectation of self and others. Academic stress makes students doubt their abilities to perform well in schools and colleges, leads to low self esteem. Anger. Anger is an emotional response to stress. Some of the factors responsible for anger include expectation of family and teachers, lack of free time, etc. Evaluated anxiety, high pulse rate, and headaches are the results of uncontrolled anger. Then self medication. To cope with academic stress, some students rely on illegal drugs or alcohol either to give them the extra boost of energy to complete their tasks or to temporarily escape from study burden, to stay awake to study task complete, to be alert during test taking or to escape from anxiety, etc. Then academic dishonesty. Students at an academically competitive level resort to cheating and manipulation to get good grades or good marks. These students create alliances with adults, work on homeworking one class for another, and complain to get better grades or simply resort to cheating. Then poor health habits or lack of sleep. Students need to sleep 6 to 8 hours. Without good sleep, students risk lapses in memory and attention, that is depression, and slow reaction time, etc. This leads to certain health problem, that is stomach problem, headache, ulcer, etc. Then the effects of stress includes or categorized into two: psychological effects and physiological effects. Psychological effects of stress may induce feelings of anger, fear, sadness, feeling of depression, feelings of shame, jealousy, etc. Physiological effects includes common physiological effects associated with stress are digestive upset, constipation, chronic respiratory disorders, high blood pressure, severe headaches, etc. Then aspects of stress. Aspects of stress includes fear, worry, anxiety, and last burnout. The review literature, that is the literature review collected for this study, is according to scholar Rantel as in 1982. In this paper, a definition and a conceptualization of stress in organizations are offered. Stress is defined as a perceived dynamic state about something important. The model developed in this paper incorporates organizational and individual stressors, individual appraisal of the stressors, and individual responses to the stress, including short-term, intermediate, and long-term responses, both voluntarily and involuntary. Critical to the model of this definition of stress based on individual need for this resolution of dynamic states of uncertainty. Previous research from the medical and health sciences are used along with that from organizational sciences to develop the integrative transactional process model. Finally, several hypotheses based on the model are suggested. According to Kumaraswamy Narasappa in 2013, academic stress, anxiety, and depression among college students are a cause of concern. Every nation invests a lot of money on education. However, research survey on college students reports at any given time there will be 10 to 20% of the student population suffering from psychological problems, that is stress, anxiety, and depression. This paper briefly describes the research carried out in the last 3 decades, especially regarding stress, anxiety, and depression. It focuses on stress among college students, the nature of psychiatric morbidity, emotional problems and adjustments, psychological problems of college students, emphasizing how counseling will help students with emotional problems, and also suggested preventive measures to be taken by colleges such as setting up student counseling centers, create awareness among college students in seeking help with counseling centers. It is also suggested to have the mentor-mentee program compulsorily on all colleges. A student health committee should be formed in each college with mental health professionals as its members. There should be regular seminars and workshops for teachers and college students on various issues of psychological problems and their coping mechanism. The statement of the problem of this study. Stress is a situation that evokes negative thoughts and feelings in a person in today's world of competition. Stress has its ill effects to the productive section of the society, that is students. Educational stress or academic stress is the mental stress that occurs when there is a mismatch between demand from outside sources and the capabilities of the students. The present study is focused on understanding the stress felt by students and how they can manage the stress. Objectives of the study. Analyze the consequences of stress among students. To identify the factors that are responsible for academic stress. To make suggestions for dealing with academic stress among students. These are the main objectives of the study. Then research methodology includes, in this particular study, the researcher found a descriptive research design is relevant and framed the objective in such a way that the problem under the investigation. The study includes a survey with the aid of a questionnaire. Samples are collected from 50 respondents from various colleges. A convenient sampling method was used for collecting data. A statistical tool such as percentage and tables are used for analysis and interpretation. Then the final results of the study. Main findings of the study includes many of the students are agree with exam factors can be motivational factor to work hard. Then most of the students academic training held per week between 20 to 30 and less than 5 hours. 52% of the respondents, that is the student examinations held in college, are 1 to 2 times in a quarter. Most of the students get support from the family. And 88% of students are facing bullying from classmates. Many of the students are shouting while feeling stress. That is, their expressive stress in a different manner. Then the majority of the students cannot sleep at night. Sleep is main problem due to stress. Most of these students meet their friends while feeling stress. To reduce stress, they meet their friends. 50% students difficult to find a job after education. This also creates stress. Many of the students get angry when they feel stress. 66% students felt stress during exam, curriculum and exam stress. Examinations and curriculum overload lead to stress among students. 60% of students felt stress in a long time and 40% students felt stress in a short time. 60% stress are long duration stress. Students are satisfied with teaching. Academic stress adversely affects the performance and their health. That is certain recommendation on the basis of the findings of the study. These are some recommendations of the study. That is, academic stress adversely affect the performance and their health conditions. So it is important to arrange some workshop at the beginning of each semester. That is, in most of the universities they are doing the semester system, following the semester system. So it is better to introduce certain workshops or seminars to students at the beginning of each semester. Is a solution. Next is the institution should be arranging classes for participating yoga, meditation, physical exercise, etc. The schools or colleges have to provide certain type of facilities or practicing classes like yoga, meditation, etc. Follow a diet rich in vegetables, fruits, and whole grain. A food chart should be provided to students to follow. Get emotional support from friends. When you feel stressed, deep breathing exercise can help melt away the tension. That is, breathing exercise should be introduced or to be uh, provided in the institutions to reduce the stress of the students. Then local authorities and educational institutions should take initiative to provide motivational classes to students for reducing their stress and mental issues. With the help of the education institutions and other local authorities, there should exist they have to take initiative for a tie-up and provide certain types of motivational classes to students to reduce the stress. Teachers should act as mentors, not like teachers only, but they have to act as mentors by providing the utmost care to students to reduce their mental stress. So because teachers are the main role models or the main element of education, main pillar of education. Policies should take to revise the curriculum or syllabus. Universities or education institutions have to recommend for to revise the curriculum or syllabus. That is the main problem is the overloading of syllabus. That is the curriculum. Provide motivational classes to students. Certain teachers have to provide certain type of motivational classes to students. These are all factors will reduce the stress into a particular level. The main, according to the findings and recommendations of the study, I conclude this presentation. That is, the main aim of this study was to find factors affecting stress among students, mainly on college students. The result of this study shows that there are a lot of factors affecting the stress of college students. That is, study problems frequently of examinations held in colleges, lack of employment opportunities, curriculum stress, syllabus overload. Everyone reacts to stress in different ways. Stress has become part of students' academic life because of several factors. Stress cannot be considered as harmful, but it may be seriously affect those who react to it badly. So, educational institutions and teachers and universities should take Government authorities should take initiative to introduce some motivational classes or motivational practices like yoga, meditation, etc. to reduce the stress among the students. These are the references. So I conclude this presentation. Thank you for all for listening. Thank you. Thank you so much. So the final quote to all: not go for stress. Stress is a psychological phenomenon in our body. So we have to say goodbye to stress. Thank you. Thank you so much.